Hello, Gold Robot here. We're going to do the breakdown of the FBI operation. So, before we even get started, though, I want to talk about balancing the spreadsheet. So, this is going to be your startup spreadsheet right here. So this area right here, this is where it just like keeps recording and keeps recording and keeps recording, blah blah blah. So up here on the top row, this is the round number, or the game number if you want to be technical. Every time the ball in the game of roulette, every time the ball wins, every time a slot number wins, every time the ball lands in a slot number and that number wins, that's considered a game, not a round or a what was somebody else calling it? Dang, what was that? Oh, was he saying a whack? No, it wasn't it. Something like that. I think it was whack. A whack. I don't know. There's a billion different ways, but anyway, technically it's a game. Anyways, sorry. Sometimes I get really hung up on words and stuff. But anyway, so here at the end, where this is where we um, exited the session, and now if we go to the start button and start a new session, it's gonna pull up this number here. This is all these numbers are your peak. So it's gonna record the peak, and this row here is gonna record the result that you entered per round. Okay, so if I want to start a new session, I need to manually come in here and reset this to my new starting amount. Okay, let's say I'm gonna start at 50,000 again. So I'm gonna well, let's back up. So I gotta look at this here. So this was a win. The very last round was a win. So if I enter 50,000 here, it's gonna register as a loss. So that's gonna skew my numbers. If you don't care, it's just one round that's off. It's not a big deal. But I'm trying to get like the absolute accurate number, and so and also I start and stop sessions a lot, so it could actually kind of affect things, by maybe 1 or 2 percentage points by the end of my 1,000 rounds, you know. Or maybe not. Maybe it wouldn't even change it 1%. But I don't know. I don't need to test that theory. So whenever I start a new session, I actually will make sure that it's correct. So anywho, if I enter the number 50,000 here, which I'm going to do, that's going to make it a loss, right? And I'm going to change my peak as well, because I don't want, if my peak says 58,000, then the base unit is going to tell me to bet, the difference of my new standing amount, which would be 50,000 from 58,000. So it's going to say use 8,000 points for your next bet, and it'd be that wouldn't work out. So I'm going to change that. Now I don't need to do any more adjustment to the peak. As long as I change the very last one, it'll pick up from there. But I want to make sure that this doesn't record as a loss, so I have to go back in the record here and adjust a loss to a win. So I change my final win to a loss in order to start a new session, and then I have to go back and change one of my previous losses to a win, and then that balances the books out, and I have the same number of losses and wins. So, but you have to be careful, because you got to pick so here it is right here. We lucked out. It's like right there. So I can't just pick any loss. So if I picked, let's see an example where it doesn't work. So I lost here. No. So there's going to be places where you lose, and then the next round is a win, but it's not larger than the amount you just came from. So if you change it, it will still make, so you change around, you change round whatever to a win, but then since that number now is larger than the next number to the right, which previously was a win, it changes it to a loss, so you're back in the same situation. Let's look and see. There's got to be an example here, because I know that nobody gets what I'm saying. I talk, my shit's all retarded, and I talk like a fag. Um, it's from the movies, so I can say that. Um, Here we go. Okay, that's not it either. Dang it. It's kind of hard to find now. Here's a loss and here's a win. Okay, this will work right here. Look at this situation. So here's my number. I'm starting at 499. Okay, 49,000. Okay, and then I lost. I go down to 48,000. Now my next win is back up to 49,000. But it's lower than where it started. So if I raise this amount here on round 332 higher than the previous round to make it a win, then it'll make the next round, that 333, a loss. So I'm just right back in the same situation. I haven't actually added a win to my chart. Okay, so is that making any sense? Okay, so I got to find a place where I'm at a number here, 53,000. All right, I need a loss. Okay, right? No. Here we go. So right here, 50,700. Then I lost. I went down a little bit. And then I went up, and then I made a win, and that win is greater than that previous starting amount there of 50,000. So if I change this number to higher than this number, this will change a loss to a win, and that's it. It'll just add another win to the books, and that's all I'm trying to do. So I will adjust this to be in between these two numbers, and then okay. So sorry for that being so long. I guess everyone's ears are bleeding by now. So sorry, right? It must be so hard being you. So, sorry. All right, cool. All right, so now I'm going to get a thing started. I'm going to enter my starting amount. Oops, that's 5,000. So I'm going to undo that and enter it again. It's slow. It'll catch up. La 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 la. There we go. So we're at 50,000. I'm going to just select whatever color since I have them all appear. Doesn't matter what color I select. Now I'm going to do some playing, and there's 3 rules to the operation, right? You analyze the color pairs, which one has the least difference between the color total. That would be the middle pair, blue and salmon. They have a difference of 14, which is a big difference. So don't think that you're super safe to bet on the machine right now. Right? When there's a massive difference, that means things are getting. That basically what that means is variance is at play. Right? Variance is definitely at play right now, and things are not going according to plan. And so if you're in a tight situation and you need to bet really super high and this is your numbers, you might want to skip some rounds or bet a little lower than what you really need to. Okay, and for sure, if you're looking for a boost, basically you're looking for just to place a really high bet out of nowhere because you've earned a lot of gains and you want to risk some of that and try to get a boost. Okay, now would not be the time to do that. And I know what you're thinking, but this session just started. How does this relate at all? Don't ask me, dude. I don't write reality. I'm just recording it. Okay? So if you want to say that my experience is arbitrary or incomplete, yeah, I guess technically having, I don't know, 1.5 million rounds by now, experienced with this same exact formula. So, like, these are very thoroughly experienced rounds. If you want to say that's not enough, that's fine. That's fine. You need somebody with 10 million rounds. Okay, cool. All right. Go ahead. Go find that person. Okay, and tell him I said hi. Tell him or her or it that I said what's up. Anyway, can we get back to this now? Sheesh. All right, so we're going to rule 1, find the least difference. Okay? So that would be with blue and salmon. Now rule 2 is go with the one of the one of those color totals that has the lower number. So obviously -4. So we're going to go over to the display and see where's blue. It's here and there, and we're going to place our bet. And I'm gonna cover 0, and we're gonna spin. Now there is a rule 3, and I'm gonna play quickly here and hope that we come upon a rule number 3 usage sooner than later. So I'm gonna try to play as rapidly as I can. Looks like blue, and you know what? I'm just gonna throw out little numbers. Now wait, okay. There's 3 rules of the system, and now for me personally, I like to deviate when the machine count gives me a 2 spot, which actually is where I place my bet. I was playing on blue, which was the inside, meaning the inside color pair. Okay, the outside color pair would be the green and yellow because they're on the outside. So yeah, I would have liked to bet a lot higher right there. And oh, how is my peak still? Okay. Well, let me record this round. 32 hits, and I'm at 4999. You know what? I'm not going to adjust the peak. Well, okay, I will. All right. Okay, so you got to go back into the spreadsheet and zip over here and change it here. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why, but sometimes you don't need to do that. Most of the time you don't, but for whatever reason at this, I don't know, man. I know I programmed the machine. I know, and I don't know exactly why it does all the things that it does. Now, the things that matter, I know exactly why it does what it does. So don't think that there's any sort of like, what's the word there? Or like, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so anyway, the things that matter, like all the things that matter in this are absolutely 100%, like there's no mystery to it. Okay, as far as my sake, you know, obviously I'm the only one that knows why, so there's massive mystery. But anyway, sorry, let's focus here. Let's refocus. Let's take 2 steps back and reframe our mindset. So we are here. All right, I'm gonna get these some color. Get me some colors. Yeah, I like when I don't know why, but I like having the. Isn't that what I was just doing, or did I have it? No, I had it like that. For whatever reason, I like to have the outside colors in the big boxes. Okay, so we won on 32. We're gonna play blue again, and I was saying I like to take that deviation. Now, are we serious? It changed itself. What in the effing crap is going on here? Maybe let's see. Okay, so I guess I just didn't change Looks like I did. I don't know, man. I'm gonna change them both before I turn it back on. Okay, so there we go. 50-50. Okay. Can we play now, please? I'm sorry that this thing has, some stupid, annoying manual quirks to it. But I think we're just gonna be fine. All right, blue again. All right, here we go. Now we're waiting for the deployment. Oh yeah, I was saying that I take a deviation when the machine count calls a two spot. Okay, you don't have to do that. It's not in the set. It's not in the FBI operation. It's just that's the only like auxiliary like extra credit activity that I'll entertain with this setup. All right, 12 wins. Now we're in salmon again. So rule 1 and 2 narrows it down to one color. Sometimes there will be a tie. Here we go. So we're in the scenario right now. Rule number 3 comes into play here. So what's the difference between 7 and -4? 11. What's the difference between 3 and 3? 0. So what's smaller, 0 or 11? It's 0. Okay, well, which one is... Okay, now we have a problem, right? So we've narrowed it down to the two colors, but now the two colors are the same number, so which one's lower? Who knows? What I'm going to do is which one was just missing and having an M count, right? In the color bar itself, blue has M3. So I'm going to pick blue. Okay? And I am going to load it up. Now that is completely... So this is me. I am just profit risk right here. Okay? Boom, it wins. Great. So I liked my odds on... When you have a small difference between a pair in the color total, you have a small difference of the number, and then also the numbers are small, like 3 is a small number here, that means the variance is not active at this, it's not being recorded, it's not apparent. So if there's ever a good time to lean in to the gambler's fallacy, right, it would be this time. So as you see, I took that opportunity. I said, wow, these numbers are low. And oh, the other thing too, that was a really juicy situation. I have a super low number, I have a 0 difference, and I had a high-ish miscount. And the color was giving me a 2 spot. So I had as much indication as I could get. So I decided to lean into that and to test that theory, and once again it proves, or whatever, it didn't prove me wrong. Let's call it that. I can't prove that this is right, but it has not proven me wrong yet. Okay, and that is what that is ultimately what I'm seeking to do. I am seeking to be proven wrong, and I have not. So here we are. I continue to do this. I've been doing it for I started it 5 years ago, and I've not changed this formula, and I have not played other formulas because they all suck. They don't have any actual like I don't know what they don't have, like, to me I would call it scale. Like my formula, it has a scale. Okay, it what's another way of putting it? Like, I don't know. It's like it's so dynamic. I wish I could explain it in ways that make sense, but I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, and it's actually a lot simpler than I realized. I just haven't figured out how to like put it into words in the simple. I don't know. But so there you go, right? Okay, that's how it's done. Now once I hit 20, oh I did. Oh, I have a tie again. Okay, so right? Is that what just happened? Double tie, baby. Oh no, I need to. Well, it's not going to change my color totals. Oops, when I enter this, but let's just do it one more time. Okay, so where's my answer? Where am I playing? Okay, obviously. Oh, that's funny. These are the exact same numbers too. So we have a difference of 11 on the outside colors. I don't want that. That's huge. It's a massive difference. And then on the inside colors, we have 0. They're the same number. So I'm going to go with whichever one was just missing. It's salmon. It's a miss 1. So I'm not really going to get all super excited that like, oh, I got some massive indicators. I do have decent enough indicators because these numbers are low. The difference is, oh, just when you think you know it all. But anyway, yeah, had that been a larger miss count the way it was in the previous round, I might have got a little more excited. So now we're on salmon again. Let's see if this. Let's see what we're in store for here. Oh wait. Oh, no, I'm not gonna talk about betting. I'm not gonna talk about bet management. We're just gonna keep it to FBI method. But we are gonna play out this chase. And I hope everybody out there is using 0 as a stop loss. If you're not, why is the money in your bankroll? That makes no sense. Excuse me. That's just gonna make you play weird. It's gonna like give you the weirdest bet management concepts ever that basically are shared by every quote unquote gambling addict on the planet, especially that you will hear that you'll hear talking on YouTube. So don't do that. You play the game with all the pieces you have on the board, or do something else. Don't play this game, right? Nobody's making you do this. But we're still in the heat of battle. I haven't broke my. See, I want to reach a new peak. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, okay, so everybody, thank you for your patience, and good night.